Well, one of the reasons that I was very interested in it, and for 6 years I kept asking, how's it going, how's it going on that, is that my aunt is a veteran, a woman veteran, and she was actually a colonel, and I brought a picture of her today, and she served in the MASH units, and that's a picture of her actually in Korea, in her bunk bed in one of the MASH units there. So she was, everybody asked me if they called her Hot Lips, and I always say no, they called her Colonel. At the end, she retired a full bird colonel. She was extremely proud of that. She also served 2 tours in Vietnam and ran the enlisted man's hospital over there. So it was very near and dear to me. She was a remarkable woman who was very heroic, who put her life on the line for the country, served in these MASH units. She was the head nurse down there, so she was in charge of doing the triage, which basically when you had the wounded soldiers come in, you would decide who actually went into the doctor and in what order they went in. And she always said that it was the most horrible thing that she had ever encountered, because if she ran into a soldier that was too severely wounded, they couldn't bring them in. If they thought that it was going to take an operation that lasted 4 or 5 hours and the likelihood of survival was very low, then they needed to take in as many patients as they could with the rate of survival. And they actually ended up marking patients on who would go in and who wouldn't. And she always recalled how people would tug at her pant legs and cry and plead with her about how, please, mark me, please, I need to go in, I need to go in. And I think one of the things is that we hear so much now about post-traumatic stress disorder. Mm-hmm. And even though we had it back then, it was never identified. And I think that my aunt suffered from a lot of that when she came back. And there were, a lot of problems. And I think back then, people drank a lot to forget a lot of those problems. And I think my aunt was probably one of the ones that slipped through the cracks and could have been helped if there were the services available to women veterans that we have now. And that's really why this is so important to me, to let the women know that we do support them, that we appreciate what they've done, and that if they need help, we have services available, and we want them to come forward. I'd love to see a silver coin in the pocket of every woman veteran here in the state of Maine. And in order to do that, we need to raise the money, though, to get the coins and to get the plaque on the wall.
It's a wonderful thing.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So the fundraising, then, is the second part of it, and I will say that those brochures do say that our hopes was to have the plaque on the wall this Veterans Day. I've been working constantly on this, doing radio shows, TV shows, talking to Chamber of Commerce, Rotary clubs, civic organizations, Legion halls, and we thought we had the money in order to do it. But what happens is people pledge money, and the pledges did not come in as we hoped. So we have had to postpone the ceremony, which was very disappointing. We're shooting now for November 29th. We're hoping the pledge money will come in. But I must say I was feeling very deflated the other day, and because we had to postpone the ceremony. And I have worked extremely hard on this. And I went down to Old Orchard Beach and went to the American Legion, gave my pitch. Some American Legions don't have any money, and all the money that they have, they give out, and I certainly understand that. Our American Legion, the Owen Davis in Saco, was very generous. They gave $1,000, very excited. We went up to Augusta, and they presented us with the check. Plus, they had 3 people from their Legion personally buy the bronze coins. Well, not buy the bronze coins, receive them, because for every $100 donation, you get a coin, and it's a tax-deductible donation. So when I went down to Old Orchard Beach, I didn't know, what to expect, because some say yes, some say no. So I went down, and they were so funny, and I gave the speech and told them that we had to postpone the ceremony, and I said, I understand if you can give nothing, but, Saco did give $1,000, and we're sitting there, and they're talking about it, and they said, stay. And this is the first time I've been asked to actually stay through an entire meeting. And all of a sudden they voted, and I just looked, and I stood up after the vote in shock, and I said, what did you just give me? And there were 10 people there, and they all turned around, and they said, $5,000. And wow. Tears just came to my eyes, and I said, $5,000, and which
goosebumps.
It just it was unbelievable. I went around. I had to hug everybody, all of the guys there. So it was just like you said, goosebumps on it. It was unbelievable. So with that contribution, it gave us enough to order the silver coin. So we have now set November 29th as the ceremony. We still need to raise another $20,000 to complete the for all of the silver coins, but that gave us enough to put the plaque on the wall and to order the initial first 1,000 set of coins, so that we can definitely have the ceremony. We're still $20,000 that we need to raise, but that just changed everything. It was wonderful. So Saturday, I'm going down when they have a Beano. We're going down, and I'm going to be getting the check. And remember, they get a bronze coin for every $100, so I'll be presenting them with 50 coins. And those 50 coins, they'll be able to then have additional ceremonies and present to who they want to, not only women veterans, but men veterans, to have one of the coins as a thank you. And I have found the men to be extremely generous on this. Every time I go to an American Legion, the men say, we want to do something for the women, because we know we served with them, and we know how important they were to the war effort, whether it was World War II or Vietnam or World War I, the war on terrorism, anything, Korea. So the men have been extremely generous, and that was a huge surprise the other night, and just very, very thrilled, because it's very important to me to have it on, even though we're not going to meet the Veterans Day schedule. There's so much going on in Veteran Days to honor them that at least we'll be still doing it during November, which I feel is a whole Thanksgiving period of time, so that we can give thanks at this time.
Tremendous.
One other aside coming from it is that where it's been getting so much publicity for the women veterans on it, they've also decided for the first time at the Biddeford Saco Parade, we're going to have a female veteran be the Grand Marshal, and we're going to have a female veteran be the guest speaker and speak on that. So this is really going to be the whole month of November for women veterans on it, and we're going to be continuing on. So I'm very, very happy.
That's a lot of work.
Yes, well, we're
and
still
a lot of footwork.
Yeah, well, it's
and
going
a lot
around
of speaking and a lot of focusing.
Yeah, and it's been interesting, especially during a campaign season, because so many people that I've gone to have turned us down because they're saying, oh, I'm already giving to this candidate or this cause or this committee and stuff. So it's almost been on the back burner for a lot of businesses. So I've been just, slow and steady, going to different events, and people now almost turn away when they see me because they know I'm going to be asking them for a donation. And I also want to stress that as of October 1st, we were able to accept online donations. So if you want to do an online donation, you can just go to the maine.gov webpage. It's right on the front page. Click on Maine Women's Veterans Plaque and donate. Any donation is appreciated, whether it's $5 or $5,000. If you donate $100, you receive a coin, but every single person who donates, we have their name listed on the website for appreciation there. So you can donate $5 and still have your name on the website. Any amount you give is greatly, greatly appreciated at this time. So we do hope that you will go to maine.gov and check that out. It also has all the information about the women on the plaque, what we're trying to do, and we'll be posting additional information as far as the big celebration we're having in the Hall of Flags on November 29th at 2 o'clock.